So here at GRIPPS, our company mission is to conquer gravity. It's the driving force behind everything that we do, and obviously in particular the design and the development of our product range. And in this quick video I just want to show you through some of the core items that you can implement that will enable you to keep all of your tools and all of your equipment secure all the time without impeding the use of them. So first off at GRIPPS, we've developed what we call the CAT tool tethering methodology, which simply stands for Connect, Anchor, Tether. And if you follow this process and you implement the GRIPPS product range, you will be able to get to this ultimate goal of having all of your tools and all of your equipment secure all of the time. So step number one is Connect, and that just simply means every single one of your tools and all of your equipment needs to have a load rated tool connection point on them that a tool tether can be immediately connected back to at any time. Through the GRIPPS product range, you will be able to get connection points on all of your tools and equipment, whether they come with them or not. Step number two is your anchorage, and this also speaks to your transportation and your storage, which is often overlooked in tool drop prevention. So when we're anchoring our tools, there's always and only three areas that we can anchor back to. That's either going to be to our wrists, via things like the wristbands or GRIPPS gloves, or to our waist via a tool belt, or to an external item such as a handrail or a purpose-built tool bag. And the main thing here is to ensure that when you're transporting your tools around site, or when you're carrying out your task and there's tools that you're not using, at all times your tools are secure. And thirdly, with tool tethering, is your tethers. Now we believe at GRIPPS that all tools can be and should be tethered whilst they're being used. Now let me show you how you can put all these three steps together with the GRIPPS product range to get to this ultimate goal of all your tools and equipment being secured all the time. So here in front of me, I've got a spanner, and step number one is done. There is a load rated tool connection point on the spanner. Step number two is going to be our anchorage in our storage. Now I like to work off my wrist, so I want to attach that spanner back to my wrist. But I also need to keep that tool secure when I'm taking it to where I'm going to be carrying out the task that I'm doing. So to do that, I'm going to use the GRIPPS mule bag. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach my tether to my spanner. I'm going to put that in the mule bag. Now the mule bag has load rated connection points inside it as well as tool organisation. So I can put that in, lock it away, and it's completely sealable at the top. So I can seal that off at the top, and then nothing can fall out of the bag. The bag is load rated for craning if need be. It's also a backpack, so I can put that on my back and get around side and maintain 3 points of contact at all times. Likewise, the GRIPPS lifting bag range also is sealable at the top and have connection points that you can attach tools back to. And the other option would be a tool belt. So if I wanted to put that in a GRIPPS tool belt, the tool belts come with connection points that I can anchor a tool back to. They also come with integrated retractors, so I can attach a tool back to a retractor. And then if I'm using nuts or bolts of smaller material, there's also bolt-safe pouches which will keep that secure as well when I'm getting around on site and using the smaller items. So my bag is ready to go. Now here's one of the most practical items of the GRIPPS glove range, of the GRIPPS tool tethering range, which is the GRIPPS gloves, which have a load rated anchor point built into the back of the glove. Now this means that any tool that you're using, as long as it's under 2.5 kilos or 5.5 pounds, can be immediately attached back to the glove. So I'm going to put my gloves on. Now the GRIPPS mule bag, when you get to where you're working, can also attach via Velcro straps up to a handrail, meaning that you can keep it up at waist height to work out of it, and saving you from having to bend down and pick up tools off the ground, which also become a drop hazard as people have been known to come along and kick them. So when I get there, I'm going to open my bag up. Inside the bag, I can connect my spanner back to my glove. The spanner comes out and it's tethered. Now, because I'm connecting and disconnecting inside the bag, this means that at no time is a spanner, a dropped object wrist, it's secure all of the time. And we can do that with all of our tools by keeping them secure inside the bag. When I'm using the tool, I've got virtually no impact on the use because it's attached back to my glove, giving it no restriction. So just to recap on the CAT tool tethering program developed by GRIPPS, remember, connect, anchor, tether. Make sure all your tools have connection points on them. Make sure that when you're anchoring your tools, they're also being kept secure while you're transporting your tools around the site and when they're in storage or not in use. And finally, when you're using your tools, make sure they're tethered at all times whilst in use, and you will conquer gravity.